Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. Well, this battle started without a countdown, and you're looking at a WZ-131, which is a Tier 7 Chinese light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Ruinberg encounter, and this one is under the command of Htomptid. Yes, you last saw him in an M56 Scorpion, and this time round he's gone for a light tank. Okay, well, he got a good result in the last game. Of course, he ended up with a Radley Waters in M56, which was pretty effective. This is a Chinese light tank. It's a standard Chinese tech tree tank. 285mm guns. The main one is basically earns 180 alpha. The top gun 200 alpha. Now this is basically a Chinese version of the Type 59, but made lightweight so it can be used in the mountains and boggy ground. They started work on it in 1957, they had a prototype by 1962, and instead of actually going ahead, I don't think they actually made any. I think they rather destroyed what they actually did produce. It's rather a speedy medium than a light tank, more than anything. It's got a very good top speed, 60 kilometers an hour, and a reasonably good reload time. 7.19 seconds is the reload by the book. You can see here that Htomptid's got it down to 6.76. Now it does have all the benefits of being a light tank in that it has same camo on the move as it does when it's stationary, and that means that you can actually move about quite a lot without actually getting seen. If you are seen though, it does have very light armour. Best armour is on the front of the turret, it's only 45mm, on the front of the hull it's only 35, and seeing as it's kind of like the a version of the Type 62, it is also very vulnerable from the front because of where the fuel tank and the ammo rack are. So yes, it's prone to getting damage and having modules damaged if it gets hit. And as I said, very thin armour, which means it can get hit very easily. Got a good shot there on the Type 58, takes him out of the game. Okay, M6. He's in a Tier 7 game with Tier 6 tanks in it. M6, of course, is bottom tier, but he is getting good damage. Okay, let's see what he can do. There's a couple of enemy tanks there in town. He might be close enough to the bushes, though, that he might get spotted. Because there's a WZ-131 just over there on the enemy team, and so he might be able to spot Htomptid every time Htomptid gets close to the bush. There he is. Get one into the engine bay, 218 which is the high roll, and then he's pulling back. Oh no, he's decided he's going to stay up, try and deal with this guy. He doesn't want to get spotted by somebody in the same tank as he's in. Well, that one hit the tracks, and he's pulling back because obviously that guy knows that he's around. We can still get shots on the guy in the town. After all, it is an encounter game, so it is all about that cap area. Okay, M2 White missed on that occasion. Looked like he was trying to go for the back of the turret. Again, he's trying to get a solution on that WZ-131 without getting taken out. As close as he dare. There's the 131 again. Tried to go for the engine bay. No, he tried to get the front wheel to immobilize him. Didn't get it though. Now, that guy is still there. He can't stay there forever. Oh, he's trying to get close to us there. So I said the front of the turret is not that thick. Only 45mm, and with the pen of these rounds, it's 159mm with standard ammo, and with the heat rounds you can actually get 230mm, so you can easily go through the front of the turret. The only problem is, of course, it's a rounded turret, and that makes it fairly easy to bounce rounds if they hit at the wrong angle. Well, the good news is the WZ-131 just got taken out by our Super Hellcat, and now he can sit here and pump rounds into these guys down in the town centre. Oh, he did get there, and Cromwell, 182, low roll. Go for it again. That one seemed to hit the middle of the hull of the Tiger, but it's another low roll. 195. As long as he keeps pumping in these rounds, he should be okay. Just checking behind him. Notice how he comes out of his tunnel vision out of sniper view to have a quick look round. Pumps one into the Super Hellcat as well. 212, which is the high roll. Now, is he moving away? Trying to not get spotted by those guys, but he's also wants to get rid of these guys behind him just in case they manage to get round. Okay, he's going to cross over. Oh, found the Skoda. Pumps one into him, but he doesn't kill him. But he's definitely after that. Oh, takes a round from the T-37. Hello, Mr. T-34. One shot in, he's out the game. We're being chased by the T-37, who's just behind us. Does get one, but he actually bounces off the tracks. We managed to get into cover because our Skoda got round. We pumped one into the front. Oh, it's into the engine bay area. Now, can we get a kill shot on this guy? Well, it's not a kill shot, but it does leave him on a one shot. And our Skoda takes the kill. Now, we're both trying to get round the same corner at the same time. And it didn't work out. But now we can turn around. And there are some enemies. There's one enemy tank down in the south. All the enemy in the town have actually managed to kill our guys. Which means now we do have a bit of a problem. Because we have to get in there and stop the cap. As far as we know, there's one tank destroyed this side. Probably a Super Hellcat. Well, it has to be a Super Hellcat. Can't be anything else. And we haven't... Oh, there he is. One shot. Yep, another kill. 4 kills now for Htomptid. But he is down on hit points. He's only down to 694 though. It is a light tank after all. Okay, now if he can get into one of the avenues, he can get the reset shots. Nothing in sight so far, but remember he is a light tank, so he does have reasonably good view range, and you can see now his view range means that he now can see everything in the cap. And there's somebody, a Tiger, and there's the M2Y. Now I don't think they are in range enough to see us. We can certainly get a shot into the Tiger if we go across the road, and I think that's what he wants. Got that 88mm gun in the way, but he's waiting for it to clock 70. He's got 70. Pumps one in, gets a reset, but it's only on one of them. He needs to get a reset twice on the other perp tank as well. Trying to go for that Tiger. I wonder if that's a stock turret. That is a stock turret Tiger. He gets another one in. 193, but there's still 2 in there. And there's the other one. I think that's capping. It's the M2Y. And he gets that reset as well, which means he's definitely got a Defender medal. And yes, it is a stock turret Tiger on that guy. So he more than likely doesn't have the 88mm gun. Now it's 2 versus 4, so they outnumber us, and they do have more hit points, twice as much. So we are in a difficult situation, but if we can get the right angle on the enemy, and he's trying to open the range so that he can see the enemy and they can't see him, but it didn't work, so he's got a little closer. He needs to go around the corner. They've stopped capping. Kind of means that they know where our Hellcat is. Oh, there's the M2Y. He knows where we are, and he slams in a 90mm round into us, unfortunately. And can we get a kill shot from the front? Yes. Yeah, the heat rounds will go through that much armor. So he's taken down the M2Y. There's only 2 enemies left now because the Hellcat got one of the enemy. He got the Tiger 1, who was badly damaged thanks to Htomptid. So Htomptid now has 5 kills. Next kill will be a Top Gun if he can get it. There's 2 enemies to do it with. Hit points, well, they've still got more than this, but it all depends on which one he sees first. It could be the KB2, but the enemy, Arty, the other enemy is a Super Hellcat, just like his. Well, it's not just like, because our teammate is a Hellcat. The other one is a Super Hellcat. Of course, that's the Tier 7 one with the 90mm as standard. Of course, our Hellcat probably does have a 90mm gun, because most players do load the 90mm rather than the 76mm, which is actually the ones that Hellcats actually did have installed during the war. Only one Hellcat ever had the 90mm gun, and that was just for a test. He's trying to get as close as he can. Up, the enemy are capping again. Well, the good news and the bad news. It's probably the KV-2 that's capping. And the good news is that there's no enemy near the center. So it's obviously they're on the west side of the map. There's only one in the cap at the moment. I think he's going to try and go back and go along that avenue and see if he can spot the enemy before the enemy spots him. I suspect it is the KV-2. It's a big mistake for the KV-2 if that is him. Because, of course, he will see the enemy before the enemy sees him. Okay. Make it gently along this road. Just past the junction should be the point at which he'll see the enemy. Okay, he's past the junction. Should spot him, unless he's round the corner. Okay, he's in a position where we can't see him, which probably means he's on the other side of the church. Okay, again, he's trying to open the range, then get closer, trying to spot where the enemy is. Oh, we found the enemy Super Hellcat. The Super Hellcat is away from the cap, so it has to be the KV-2 that's in the cap. Okay, so he's going right in. There's the KV-2. He has been spotted. Where's the KV-2? Yeah, he gets one in to get the reset. Now, our Hellcat is shooting off against their Super Hellcat. KV-2's moved out the cap. He can shoot through this gap. The enemy has lost their Super Hellcat. He managed to get the kill. Now, if we can get a kill, that means a Top Gun. KV-2 is coming for us. He's getting closer. He's just going past the church now. I think he does know where we are. He's not pre-aimed though. Hello. Well, that's another one. Gets a high roll. KV-2 knows he's going to be facing 2 very shortly, because our Hellcat is getting in a position where he might be able to provide support. Yes, we could shoot through the window. I'm not sure if KV-2 knows that. Oh, missed it. And he gets another chance to shoot us, but we're coming in from the rear. Now, okay, he knows that, and he's turned his turret round. Got very slow turret traverse. Will he back up and take a shot? He's trying to get into a position, gets close. We try for a shot through the window, doesn't work. We're loading the AP, the standard AP, not the APC, the heat rounds rubber. We've still got plenty of time. The Hellcat gets a hit. Now there's a one shot. Side of the turret, gets the kill and wins the game, and that's a Top Gun for Htomptid. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Htomptid in the WZ-131. He managed to get a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, as well as a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 10. And look at all these other medals he managed to get in, but he got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. A Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, with that last KV-2 being the 6th kill. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. A tanker sniper for getting most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more. And of course, as we saw during the game, he managed to get enough resets on the cap to get a defender medal. In fact, he got it off the first time they were capping, because of course he managed to reset both vehicles, the Tiger 1 and the M2Y, who actually went through the cap area and gave us the side of his vehicle as he did, which made it very easy for Htomptid to get a reset on both tanks. His win rate in that gun one was high, 28,443, so he definitely earned that ace tanker. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage was 4,600, a very nice score indeed, because the next highest scorer had less than half of that, and that was the M2Y on the enemy team with 1,700. Next highest after that was the Super Hellcat on the enemy team. I think that's the one that they saw at the end. He got 1,630. And in fact, the highest scorer on his own team only had 1,584, and that was the SP1C, who got a Confederate, and he also had a fairly high win rate as well, you can see here, but not as high as Htomptid managed to get in his game. When it came to kills, he got the highest number of those, 6 kills, and yet again, he got twice as much as the enemy team. The highest next was the Super Hellcat in the enemy team. He had 3 kills. 2 kills went to his own Hellcat, his own Super Hellcat, his Skoda T25. And on the enemy team, their KV2, their Super Hellcat, and their Cromwell, and their T25 too, all managed to get 2 kills. And the Cromwell picked up a Leather Slayer's medal, so he was killing higher tier tanks than his own. When it came to base XP, he's the only player to get over 1,000 base in that game. 1,666. 687 was the next highest score to the SP1C, and 648 was the next highest after that to the AMX M445. So you can see how much he dominated this battle and basically carried, with the help, of course, of that Hellcat player who actually was alive at the end of the game and did decent damage. He fired 29 rounds in that game. You only get 47 rounds capacity, which means he actually had 18 rounds left at the end of the game. 28 direct hits on the enemy, 25 penetrations, 4,600 hit points of damage, of which 2,000 were done at more than 300 meters. So you can see he definitely was doing a lot of damage at long range. But then again, it is a light tank, which you can do that in. You can shoot at long range. The enemy can't see you because they're just outside view range. But yes, that's why it's so useful on a game where there's lots of resets needed. He received 4 hits from the enemy, only 2 penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, and 115 hit points of damage blocked by armor. One of those penetrating shots was, of course, the Super Hellcat, who was watching from the south side of the map. When he came south, of course, he managed to get 1 clean shot into Htomptid before he got wiped out himself. 115 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 13 enemy vehicles were damaged. So there was only 2 enemy vehicles he didn't even touch in that game. He kills 6 of them. 13 tanks engaged. That's a huge number. You can see why he got the Confederate in that one. He definitely touched an awful lot of enemy tanks. 112 hit points of spotting assist, I think that was. He got 100 defense points. Well, he actually earned it probably twice over because he reset it more than once. And he also earned 93,526 credits on a premium account and 4,998 experience points as well. What a great game that was. Now, even a little light tank like a WZ-131 can dominate a game, even when there's heavies and tank destroyers and medium tanks. Yes, a little light tank. Well, it's not really a light tank. I mean, obviously, I did say during the game, it's much more like a speedy medium than a light tank. But it is a very good tank, actually. And if you are working your way up the Chinese line, then you've got to enjoy this one at tier 7. Because, yes, you can bully some of the enemy mediums about when you get a game like this. And even though it's only got an 85mm gun, as soon as you get that top gun, because it's the top gun that does the 200 alpha, then, of course, then you're going to have a bit of fun on the enemy because it's more than a standard 85mm, slightly less than a 90mm, but it certainly does pull its weight. And it's got decent pen. And if you hit the enemy, yeah, you can get good results, just like Htomptid did. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.